I'm just picturing these 12 people out there pumping out lies.
That's Senator Amy Klobuchar. She's speaking to Congress about what social media companies need to do to stop the flow of vaccine misinformation on their platforms. This may seem like too tall an order with how vast these networks are, but it turns out that 65% of all COVID vaccine misinformation shared on Facebook and Twitter comes from only 12 people. The Disinformation Dozen. Hi, I'm Hari Srinivas and welcome to Take on Fake, where we'll debunk some claims you may have seen or even shared online. Half of American adults have gotten the shot. But according to the CDC, vaccination rates are slowing down. Vaccine hesitancy is part of it, but keep in mind that's been around way before the coronavirus. But social media has amplified the anti-vax movement and allowed it to spread across platforms. That's given the 12 accounts making up the Disinformation Dozen time to build their base and perfect their messages.
They're like an industry. They're well-resourced, they're well-financed, they've thought a lot about how they can target their market.
That's Imran Ahmed, the CEO of the Center for Countering Digital Hate. His organization identified the Disinformation Dozen by looking at their massive social media followings and the high volume of anti-vaccine content that they put out.
And what they're looking to do is target people with any uncertainty. Whether they feel uncertainty about coronavirus and how deadly it is, whether they're unsure about vaccines and how they work, and they try to instill in them a belief that you can't trust the medical establishment. What you can trust is them. And then they've got a false cure to sell you on the side.
Imran says that anti-vaccine posts focus on three main points. One, that COVID-19 isn't dangerous. Two, that we can't trust vaccines. And three, that we can't trust the medical establishment. They drive home these 3 points to erode people's faith in organizations like the CDC and the WHO and establish themselves as trusted sources instead. Beyond consistent messaging, each of these 12 have cultivated their own niche audiences. One speaks directly to moms, another to those interested in wellness, and yet another to African American communities. And like all savvy social media influencers, they lean on each other to expand and grow their audiences. So, for example, look at who's interviewed as an expert on Joseph Mercola's YouTube video. Well, it's Robert F. Kennedy Jr., another member of the Disinfo Dozen.
We know that bad actors on the internet often work as densely interconnected, mutually reinforcing networks. And the reason why is because a small number of people working in deep concert can actually create an enormous amount of noise. So 50 people, for example, each retweeting each other with the same comment, they can create 2,500 notifications by doing that. And then if they like those comments, they can create 5,000.
The algorithms don't help. Another study by the Center for Countering Digital Hate found that if you follow one of these accounts, there's a very good chance that you'll get a recommendation to follow another one of them.
What we saw is that if you looked at anti-vax content, it would start feeding you QAnon. It would start feeding you election misinformation. It would start feeding you white supremacist and anti-Semitic content. Now, this is leading to the kind of mixing of markets, the hybridity of extremisms that we have seen emerging over the past year. The reason why on January the 6th, we saw stages set up in which there were anti-vaxxers, white supremacists, and Trump loyalists all on the same stage at the same time.
So what motivates the Disinformation Dozen? For their part, these 12 say they provided much needed insight not readily available in mainstream media. But Imran says, for the most part, the motivation is simple: money.
Most of the anti-vax industry are in fact economically motivated, that they're trying to make a buck out of it. They're snake oil salesmen, and that's a familiar trope, but now they've been given the digital megaphone of social media and social media platforms that profit at the same time.
Another big challenge here is that even when posts break social media platform policies by spreading disinformation, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, they aren't exactly incentivized to take them down. Any kind of interaction, whether it's positive or negative, is good for the site. Imran and his team found that even if Facebook deplatformed, that means kicked off, a bad actor, often Instagram, which is owned by Facebook, did not. So what can we do here as fellow social media users? Well, before engaging with a post or following a new account, ask yourself, who created this? Don't be fooled by a blue check next to someone's name. I mean, practically anyone can get one of those. Instead, try opening another tab and searching their name. Also ask, why did they post this? Are they selling something or running ads to make money off their content? But it turns out one of the most powerful things we can do when we find ourselves faced with this kind of polarizing, incendiary content is, wait for it, nothing at all.
If you're seeing misinformation on social media, please don't engage with it, because engagement is all that social media platforms measure the merit of a post by. Instead, ignore it, block the person sending it and report it to the platform and hope that they take action, which they don't always, but sometimes they do.
We can't necessarily rely on the platforms themselves to take down this content, so we have to work together to limit the reach of the Disinformation Dozen and others like them. Until next time, don't spread fake news, keep it real. I'm Hari Srinivasan, and this is Take on Fake. Season 2 is in full swing, so we'll be back with more trusted sources, tips, and tools to help sift through what pops up on your social media feed. We've also created a new Instagram account. Follow us at TakeOnFake as we debunk viral, false, or misleading claims on the biggest news stories of the day. See you there, and right back here.